times that Reagan was warning about. He was warning about communism overseas. Now it is on our own shores. And it is a very serious time, and every American needs to wake up and understand the threat. I want to share with you.
That was Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and he is exactly right. If you saw the primary results from Tuesday night, you would see that the radical far left is starting to win. And they aren't even hiding in the shadows no longer. They're winning in key congressional primaries and key congressional races. They are officially trying to reshape the landscape of this great, beautiful, magnificent nation. They wrap their ideas under a new, shiny package called Democratic Socialism, promising you free healthcare, free college, and free government checks. They tell you it's progress, but history is trying to warn us. They're trying to call progress, and what it actually is an old failure and failed ideology that has left a trail of economic disaster everywhere it's ever been and never been tried. And this is about one election cycle. This is a wake-up call for each and every American who still believe in individual freedom, free enterprise, and the survival of American greatness. The old Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher, exposed the fundamental flaw of socialism in just one sentence. Socialist governments traditionally make a financial mess because they eventually run out of other people's money. It sounds simple, but it is an absolute economic law. Socialism relies entirely on redistribution, taking wealth created by people who actually work, innovate, and build, and handing it over to a bloated government bureaucracy. But what happens when you penalize success and reward dependency? The innovation stops. The producers leave, and the well eventually runs dry. The radicals pushing these ideas today haven't invented a single utopia. They have just ignored the basic human incentives. This battle between economic freedom and government control isn't something new online debate. It is a 20th century battle. And every single time the free world has had to face total collapse, it was the unapologetic strength of conservative leaders who stepped up to save it. Think about Winston Churchill when he stood against tyranny in Europe. He understood the danger of the state consuming individual liberty, and Winston Churchill said it very plainly. Socialism is the philosophy of failure. And in the 1980s, the world was struggling under the heavy inflation and crushing weight of the Cold War. It was the fierce conviction of Margaret Thatcher and the soaring optimism of Ronald Reagan that completely turned the tide. Reagan didn't just compromise with the ideas that destroyed prosperity. He rejected them outright by cutting taxes, reducing regulation, and letting free markets breathe. Reagan reversed the stagflation of the 1970s and sparked one of the greatest economic revivals and expansions of the post-war era. He proved that when you unleash the power of individual freedom, that, yes, freedom will always win. Capitalism isn't perfect because humans aren't perfect by any means. But it is undeniably the greatest economic engine for lifting out people out of poverty in human history. Why? Because it aligns with human nature. It rewards hard work, values individual liberty, and relies on voluntary exchange, not government force. In a free market society, if you want to succeed, you have to create a product. You have to build a service that actually helps your neighbor. It turns self-interest into community progress. Socialism forces compliance from the top to the down. Capitalism builds prosperity from the ground up. Whenever you point out the historic collapse of socialist regimes, the modern leftists always like to use the same excuse. No, not that kind of socialism. We want the Scandinavian socialism. But here is what they don't want you to know. Nordic countries aren't socialist. They're the quite opposite. They are highly competitive. They are fiercely capitalist, free market economics that use their capitalist wealth to build a safety net. You cannot have a safety net without the capitalist freedom to pay it first. The radical left wants the giant government spending without the freedom that creates the money in the first place. The primary wins we saw this week are just a warning flare of what's to come. The threat isn't overseas anymore, as Speaker Mike Johnson said. It's here in our shores, and it's here in our nation, plaguing it like it's plagued so many others. The fight to defend American greatness is happening right now in our own backyards. If we want to preserve this country for the next generation, we need to stand unapologetically for individual freedom, free enterprise, and the values that built the free world. Because under a socialist framework, the state becomes the god. When the government becomes the one that gives you your rights, the government can take those rights fast. But we know that our rights come from a higher power, and I want to leave you with Galatians chapter 5, verse 13, which tells us, "For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another." Real freedom is God-given calling. Let's defend it. So hit that subscribe button. Share this video to wake up anybody that needs to see this so they know the true cost of socialism and why it is the big law. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll read every single comment, and I can't wait to see these comments. So God bless you. God bless the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, and Godspeed to all of you.